In this tutorial, I will start with this preset, choose it and hit play to see the different shape and the different movement that I will make my own adjustment accordingly. It is each seconds. Then I will make my adjustment according to this movement and this speed. Just double click on the shape, press the text you want inside of it. I press 19. Let's say I will make some rotation, some adjustment for the shape. Let's say I will give a shape panel, let's say the movement of the shape and the depth and the height and the width. I make adjustment according to the value on the left side. Let's say I will make adjustment to this value to 53 or 13 or make 33. It's adjustment according to precise value. Let's say I will delete this one and move this one around or delete it. Let's say I will give this shape a different color. Just select the shape first and go to the color menu and give it a color. Also give a texture for the color you've chosen. Then you give a color for the text and a color for the bevel around the text, which I typed in on the side of the shape. Then you can choose this color right here, then choose different texture, then go to the bevel menu. Make sure you add it as shape panel or the text panel, then you choose a different bevel shape and give it a design menu. You can choose different value for the text for precise movement. If I want to move the text inside of the shape, you head to this panel menu and hit it according to the axis X or Y or Z. You can make a precise movement according to these values. So the panels on the right side make your own rotation and position, and its effect of the position, its precise movement. Let's say I will give it some rotation according to Z axis. It will rotate according to this value. Let's say I will give text effect animation. Just make your own animation. I will draw a new text from this tool and double click to type in my own text. Let's say I will press effect like just a demo, so I press these numbers, press OK. You can see if I scroll down here and hitting and at the second number 8, hitting a new keyframe, then I saved this color, this keyframe, this I'll give this text this color at this keyframe and save it. Let's give it some bevel thickness. Let's increase the thickness of the text, increase its size. If I have shaped this last 3 affects the shape. If I have a shape, last 3 affects the bevel of the shape, the size of the shape, the size of the hole containing the shape. Then I will move to this design panel and adding some effect of the animation. Let's say I will make this animation, give it a value of, let's say, decrease it a little. Let's say it's 0. This effect animation 0 adds the second number 8. I added a keyframe. Let's say I will give it as a start as a second number 0. Let's say I give it a value of increase it a little. Let's say I will increase to 100 and added a new keyframe. If you hit start, you can see the movement according to the value I've added. It disappeared gradually because I gave this effective movement. The effect of movement of disappearing from the value of the second number 0 to the value of the second number 8. Any movement, just select a new shape, add a new text, just type in your own text and make your adjustment. Delete this one, type in your own, and let's say I will just try a pulse effect, a different effect from the same menu. Let's say I will choose this one, decrease its depth, move it away to be able to see the effect. Let's select it first and move it away. Let's move it up here and give it some animation by letter. Let's say I will choose the pulse. This one pulse, I will give it a value. Let's say it will decrease this value 12. This value is a second number 8. I added a value as a second number 8. So I will need to add a new value as a second number 0 to be able to transient movement from this second, this keyframe I've added to the other keyframe I have just added. You can see the pulse effect of each letter according to the value I've added as the second number 8. Then you can choose this one as a second number 8. I will choose this value and increase, let's say at 71, add in a new keyframe to save it and start as, let's say I will choose different value, let's say I will give it 90, add a new keyframe to save this movement, hitting play button. You can see the effect at the 8, it's a pulsing effect according to the value I have just added. You can see the movement according to. Let's head to this panel. I can choose to camera panel. I can make a movement for the camera itself. If hit the value of the camera at the second number 0, I move it to the left side. It look like effect I moving the camera at position X. It look like I move the camera to the left side. Let's say I will give it an effect at the second number 8, and then heading to the camera menu I will give it a different value. Let's say I will decrease it in a negative value. Let's move it to the right side, or I type in the value I want. Let's say number 0, let's move it a little. Then I move the camera according to the value I typed in, or just scrolling up or down to move the value of the camera. Then at the second number 8, the camera will move to that direction. So you can see, you can move the shape, move the text, give it animation, and give a camera animation if you want to move the camera of the scene. At the start, you can adjust the rotation of the camera. It's like you hold the camera and rotate it around the scene. I rotate it down. So I hold in the camera and rotate it down and save this keyframe. Let's say I will hit play. You can see it's moving around that I rotated. Let's say I will give it a different value like 0. I will rotate it around a different axis. Let's say this axis Y. I rotate it in a left direction. I rotate it to the left. Then hitting play button, you can see I'm moving the camera down because I rotated down, so it will move up. The same as rotation in a keyframe I have saved. Let's say I will select this text and move it. Let's select it, grab it, move it, save the camera. Let's say I will choose different node. Different node allow you make your own adjustment on the shape and the scene. Let's hit add a new keyframe, then I saved at this position. This key here allow you to make any movement without pressing on the green plus button. If you want any movement to be saved as a keyframe, just move it. It automatic keyframe. Then any second you move any object inside of it, it applies saving for the keyframe. Then you apply autosave keyframe. If you are in advanced lesson, you can use this tool to save the time. You don't need to give a plus green button to save each keyframe you've added. You just automatic keyframe. When you move any object in any second, it will automatically saved. So you can see any movement I have just added, it automatically saved as a keyframe on the timeline. That's all, save it.